This GLA 35 is loaded inside and out, and today we're going to take a look at the exterior details, the interior, and take it for a test drive. Let's get started. Real quick before we get started, if you're curious about the GLB, the boxier, slightly larger version of this vehicle, I got a couple videos in the description below. Now let's take a look at these exterior details right up front. So first of all, you're going to get this large AMG grille with the huge Mercedes emblem in there as well. And this is the AMG specific styling here that we get, different than what you'll see on the 250 models. As you see, you've got an LED turn signal. That is where the daytime running light hangs out, and you've got LED headlights mixed in here as well. And this has the optional active LED headlights, which include the automatic high beams. This paint color is an optional color called Denim Blue Metallic. I think it looks really nice on here, especially with the black accents. And this has the AMG Night Package, which gives us several different dark accents. But one thing that you'll see here is these monster 21-inch wheels. These are an optional feature, 21-inch wheels with all the different spokes. Dimensionally, this GLA AMG is 174.5 inches long. It also sports the AMG ride control suspension. You'll see that the mirror has a turn signal. It's also automatic dimming and power folding. You've got chrome accents on the door handle. And then coming to the back, you're gonna get full LED back here as well, including the LED blinker. And inside of here, you're even gonna get a rear fog light as part of this GLA as well. And then coming down, you've got a squatted rear end. You'll see you've got black exhaust tips and this diffuser back here as well. Now, a lot of what you're spending the money on for this GLA AMG is under the hood. This is the AMG enhanced 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo with 302 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It is paired with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission and comes standard with 4MATIC all-wheel drive. One thing to note, this is the GLA 35. There's a GLA 45, which is an even higher horsepower version of this AMG. Miles per gallon for this is a little bit better than the GLB at 23 city and 29 highway. Now, I think one of the most exciting things about this GLA, 0 to 60 with this one, 5.1 seconds, but with the GLA 45, 4.3 seconds. This thing can scoot. Now, coming to the cargo area, one nice feature that we have is the hands-free liftgate. You just swipe your foot under there, automatically will lift up, hands-free. And the cargo space back here is not as good as some might expect. It's really not too bad, but it's only 15 cubic feet. Now, this is kind of like a sedan, like a trunk size, but it does stack up a little bit to have some space with that. You have a couple of little cargo nets here as well. And I like having the light and these hooks. You've got these hooks on both sides, which could be good for cargo nets or groceries. Under the floor, you've got a little bit of space back here for storage and a tire inflator kit, but no spare tire. And then one nice feature, you have 40-20-40 split fold. So you can fold that down and then have some center pass-through space. But one complaint that you might see with this being a $63,000 luxury vehicle is you have to go to the second row to actually fold the seats down. You don't have pull tabs in the back or anything like that. But then once you get it down, you've got a little ramp right here and you're gonna get about 50 cubic feet. And of course you can get rid of that cargo cover, so it's not bad. 50 cubic feet really isn't too bad considering the size of the vehicle. Now, Mercedes gives us the smart key system. The only thing is that there's no remote start on the key fob, which is kind of mind-boggling to me considering a lot of other vehicles do. But you can lock it by pushing right there. The mirror will power fold, and then there's a sensor in the back to unlock it. And at night, when you open the door, there's a Mercedes emblem that illuminates on the ground and it looks really awesome. Now, these seats are actually a synthetic material. It's not real leather. You can get different variety of seats in here, but our AMG seats have some good bolstering on the side. Got nice material coming down. It still feels nice. You even have a manual adjustable thigh cushion. This is both driver and passenger side. You even have some good bolstering on the seat bottom here. And then you'll find 4-way lumbar support down here, but you'll find the rest of it up here on the door. So this is actually on the door panel. You've got heated seats. We do not have ventilated seats in our model, but it can come with ventilated seats. I'm surprised we don't have it at our $63,000 price point. But you've got all the necessary adjustments and 3-position memory settings that even has the entry-exit system. So the seat can move forward and backwards when you get in and out of the vehicle. This is the AMG specific steering wheel as well. It's a little bit bulky up here. You've got the center line up there. It looks nice. You've got controls for sport mode and suspension controls over here. This one is not heated, but you can get a heated steering wheel on other GLAs. Now moving to the back seat, over on the door you've got nice soft material as you would expect in a Mercedes. Nice big grab handle, bottle holder, and then the same synthetic material seats just like up front. Now sitting behind myself, I'm 5'9", I've got really good foot space. I've still got good knee space as well. The overall dimensions in here are much better than you would expect considering the exterior size of the vehicle. You still get air conditioning vents back here as well. And then back here you get a little storage area. You've got this pull-out tray which has a 115 volt 2-prong outlet and then 2 USB-C charging ports. One other thing I should mention is that these front seat headrests can move forward and backwards, not just up and down, but they can move forward or backwards for your own comfort. The only thing I don't like is this is a center folding piece right here, but there's no cup holders in there or anything like that. And these back seats are not heated, but I can still sit up tall without my hair touching, so that's nice. Now hopping inside this GLA AMG, over on the door you're going to find a nice soft material pretty much all over this entire door panel on the upper part, a decent armrest, good grab handle, and all the necessary controls. And down here you've got a little bit of a storage area and a cup holder that fits my large bottle. Just to the inside you'll find all your light controls and your parking brake. And then behind the steering wheel we've got the push button start and the option to turn off the auto stop start. Now using the steering wheel, on the left, you have controls to control that, and on the right, you have controls to control that display. So you can do a lot with these controls. You can scroll through a lot of different information. This is completely customizable, both on the left, the middle, and on the right. I go into more detail in my GLB video about all the different things that you can see on here, but it is really, really cool. And then you can even use the steering wheel to go to a home screen, and then you can move through different things here: driver assist, phone, navigation, AMG stuff, trip computer, everything that you need, and you can customize this and change it through a few different ways. These are both actually optional screens, so it doesn't come standard with 10¼ inch screens, but they're both 10¼ inch screens, and they're both really cool if you ask me. So the cool thing is I can use this to scroll through different things on here. So you can keep your hand on the steering wheel to control basically the entire screen. You can touch the screen, or you can use this touchpad to go through everything, and you even have a couple of shortcuts, a volume knob, quick to navigation, map, radio, telephone, etc. There's a lot that you can do on here, a lot that you can customize and change, and it takes getting used to, but once you get used to it and you get a feel for everything and you get it the way you want, it works really well. And this also has, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
I'm cold.
I'm increasing the temperature on the driver's side to 76 degrees.
So this Hey Mercedes thing works pretty well for quite a few different commands. This does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it has to be plugged in. There's no wireless option for the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as of right now, which is a bummer, and it takes up a really small portion of the screen, so you don't get the full screen effect. One of my favorite things about this Mercedes is it has the optional Burmester sound system. It's this surround sound system, 12 speakers, 590 watts, and it does sound pretty darn nice. Going down, we're gonna find large AC vents and all the AC controls right here. Dual zone climate for you and your passenger, fan speed. It's not the same as simple as some vehicles, but all the controls are right in front of you. Then you have wireless charging down here, the plug-in for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got a 12-volt power outlet, some good sized cup holders that have little pop out things right there. My large bottle fits in here just fine. Like I showed you, the touchpad with the shortcuts. You have your drive mode selection right here. You can change into manual mode, traction control, and then on the other side you even got a suspension setup over there. This little pad right here is nice to rest your hand on, or to even just kind of rest your hand and hold it as well. We've got a split fold center console with a couple of USB charging ports. There's a locking glove box. There's also an automatic dimming rearview mirror. One complaint that I have is that these visors don't move at all, and they don't have a sliding piece. So you're pretty much screwed if the sun is right there, or if you wanted to move it to the side. You've got overhead LED lighting right here, and the mirror lights, or the reading lights, actually come from the bottom. So they don't distract you or bother you as much if those are on for your passenger. And another feature is the panorama roof. So not only do you have this one where the glass actually opens up, you also have one back there over the second row seats. And you can kind of see a little bit right now. You can see a little bit of light right there, right here, down on the center console. There's even lights in the air AC vents. There's 64 color ambient lighting in here, which looks fantastic. All right, y'all, let's get behind the wheel of this AMG GLA. So this is where a lot of the fun and the value comes in with this car. It's just how it drives. It's fun to drive, it's peppy, it's responsive. There's just a lot to like about the driving dynamics. Not just the handling and the acceleration, but just the overall feel of this car is very, very nice. So with this GLA 35, all-wheel drive is standard Mercedes 4MATIC. Same with the GLA 45, the higher performance AMG model. Aside from the AMG power output under the hood, we've got the AMG ride control. We've even got a few different ways to change the drive mode and change the suspension. So you can do that on here between Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, the AMG Dynamics on here as well. So I'm gonna put it in Sport mode. We've got Sport suspension on. And it gets up to speed very quick, especially at low speeds, partial throttle takeoffs, where you don't have to wait for the kick down so much. This car just zooms. Partial pedal. It's got a nice sound to it, especially for being a little 2-liter 4-cylinder. Sounds pretty nice. We're still in sport mode. The steering has a decent heft to it. It's not bad. It's not like heavy. It's not lightweight, but it is quite responsive, as you can tell with that. So the steering is pretty spot on. The acceleration is responsive. And we have the dual clutch transmission, and that would be one thing that I don't necessarily care for a ton. It is very quick and responsive, but it's also a very jerky transmission in certain scenarios. I'm totally fine with that with the AMG, but the non-AMG models, like I tested a GLB 250 that had a dual clutch, and it was just jerky. Way more than it should be in a luxury vehicle. But it pairs well with this AMG powertrain. Pedal down. Smooth acceleration. You've got the turbo that kicks in pretty early as well. And you've got the sound. You'll be able to hear that sound a little bit more. You actually can hear when you shift. It sounds pretty awesome. On a day-to-day driving aspect, I like it for the most part. I like how you can control this and the main screen all with the steering wheel. That is very handy, so you don't even have to take your hands off the wheel as well, but you still have touchscreen. You have the touchpad down there. You have the drive mode controls that are accessible on the steering wheel with this dial, or down there as well. And I just put us in Sport Plus. And let me go ahead and get pedal down. You've got those hefty thunks when you shift. Now I'm gonna put us in manual mode. Quick downshift with these paddle shifters. You've got a lot of audible feedback. You've got quick paddle shifters. It sounds nice when you shift. Nice and responsive. Lots of fun that you can have in this Mercedes. Now, one thing to note is we also have the driver assistance package, where we have a lane keeping system, we have lane centering, and we also have adaptive cruise control as well as part of the package with this GLA. Now I just put us in comfort mode, and here's something to note. We have 21-inch wheels, which are massive, and small tires around those, so there's not a lot of rubber for cushion. This still has a decent ride comfort overall for what I kind of expected. I thought it'd be a little bit rougher with the AMG suspension and with the big wheels, but it's actually not bad. When you're on ideal pavement, it's very, very smooth. You do feel some bumps. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit harder than the regular GLAs and with smaller wheels, but it's still a comfortable ride. Now, there's just one thing I want to complain about here. We're still in comfort mode, and it's still nice and peppy and still sounds good here. But my complaint, as you can probably tell right here, there's a lot of road noise that gets in here. And obviously, the tires are probably not ideal for road noise. We've got this AMG suspension, but this is still $63,000, and there's a lot of noise that gets in here. We don't have laminated windows here as well. So I complained about this in the GLB, and I don't care as much with the AMG models because they're more performance oriented, but with the GLB 250 as well, that still had a lot of road noise, way more than it should for a Mercedes, but that's what you get with lower end Mercedes models. But other than that, it's still a very fun vehicle to drive. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. So to wrap things up on this GLA 35, even though it's not the fastest AMG, it is still no doubt a blast to drive. If you didn't see the MSRP earlier, this is $63,000, and for a vehicle this small, that's pretty expensive. It is still practical. It's got decent space inside for how small it is. There's a lot of luxurious features inside, and this AMG tuned engine is definitely a blast. But I'd love to know your thoughts down below. The GLB is very similar, but a little bit bigger and boxier. If you want to check that one out, in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize for my hoarse voice today. Hope you have a good one. We'll catch you next time.